Hey, what's up? Happy Saturday. What's up, moms? This is your girl, Sharita, the Behavior and Literacy Strategist, coming at you from the Morgan Unlimited Growth Institute, where you can find solutions for your child's behavior and literacy challenges. Y'all, we did something today that got me thinking. I had to come on here and talk to y'all, so it's going to be a good one today, okay? I took Maya to an author's expo, okay? It was at the Linden Library. So apparently they do this event every year, and I wanted to go because I have a book. It's called Kids Give Advice. It's a conflict writing and conflict resolution workbook. So I wanted to go to the author's expo and meet the coordinator, so that when they do it next year, I can be a part of the expo, the events. But I said, let me take Maya too, because she was saying, oh, mommy, I want to be an author, I want to be an author, I want to be an author. And she started writing her own little book. So I took her, and they had games, they had prizes, they had authors with their children's books. Maya got to sit down and listen to authors read their actual books to her. That happened twice. And also she met authors up front. She took pictures with authors. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. I was so excited because I've never probably met an author or two in my life, but I've never met up close so many authors. It was so beautiful. They had music outside. We were jamming. They had snacks and treats, and she did a little face paint and little crafts and everything. It was just so amazing. And it got me thinking, remember back in our day, we used to go on school trips a lot, okay? And we had to get our permission slip signed by our moms, right? By our parents. And then also we had to bring some money, right, for the day. And as with a lot of the things, it's gone out of practice, right? And I know with the pandemic, things have changed a lot. But even before then, there wasn't a lot of school trips. It started to kind of fall off, okay? And I miss it, okay? I miss it not just as a child and myself having that experience going on school trips, but also as a mom and just my daughters being able to have that experience going on a school trip. You going to the zoo, or you going to a museum, right? So I decided that I was going to still do these things and make them educational. Go on these trips and make them educational, okay? So today was a really cool trip that we went on. And although I went there, as soon as they said there's an author's expo, I was thinking, yes, I got to get in there. But when I found out about it, it was already filled. But I thought it was an awesome opportunity for Maya to learn who's behind the books that she reads. Because with my students and my children, when they read a book, they have to read the title, they have to read the author, they have to read the illustrator. And I always talk to them about what an author is and what an illustrator is. But when you meet them up close, honey, it's different, okay? So moms, let's start taking our kids on these school trips. And you know what, this is what it's all about here at the Morgan Unlimited Growth Institute. We are empowering ourselves to whatever we say. We missed this when we were kids. We wish our kids had this, had this experience, right? They don't do that anymore. We don't worry about that. We moms are running it. We changing the game. Anything we feel like our kids should have and need to learn, right, and benefit from, we're going to do it ourselves. If it's not available out there, we're going to do it ourselves, okay? So my big dream is to be going on trips with students in my program and other students just in the community, right, for us to be doing the school trips. But let's start right here, okay? I have a couple of tips for you to make this a great experience. All right. So as a school teacher, we took our students on trips, the whole class, we went on trips. And then as a mental health specialist, we went on lots of trips, okay? We were going everywhere. We were taking the kids everywhere, right? Now, here's the difference. when, as a teacher, taking the class on school trips, yeah, they know that what they're supposed to do, and the teacher is working to manage them, and and making sure they listen and make sure to keep them safe and all together, right? But when I was in a challenge program as a mental health specialist in Newark, New Jersey, when we went, we rode deep. We had that camaraderie. We were up there singing and chanting, challenge program. We was having a good old time together. We all wore matching T-shirts, But we knew that the kids that we were working with, our kids, right? They had behavior challenges, and sometimes they'll be out there and they might get upset and it might break down and maybe have a tantrum, right? So there's a possibility. We always knew there was a possibility that we would have to handle a crisis while we out there. But we still was like, don't go out there and act like you don't know, okay? Don't be out there embarrassing me. You don't know. That's how we used to be with them, right? Because we were so close. Right? But all our students had goals. They had goals, and I'm very big on not students. As a mental health specialist, they weren't students, but they had goals. I'm very big on kids knowing what am I working on right now? What do I need to guide, to follow, right? What kind of guide do I need to follow so that I can have a productive day? What tools do I have on my belt? If I'm struggling, if I'm upset about something, how I can help myself calm down and solve my own conflict, right? Maya is going through that right now. I'm teaching herself to regulate herself and calm down if she gets upset, because that's her responsibility, right? So I'm teaching her that. So we had a lot of more structure as a mental health specialist than as a teacher. Well, I had a lot of structure in my classroom because I ran it the same way. It was behavior modification and learning, teaching at the same time, okay? Because I'm like, we gotta make sure we keep this together, right? So, but when moms go out, and I'll give you an example, because I was with Maya Thursday, took her to the library. We got a library card. She got her first library card. I'm going to post a picture of her signing her first little library card. It was such a beautiful experience. I talked to her about the rules of the library. We walked inside and we looked at the sign that said, the rules of the library about cell phone, and snacks, no snacks in the library, and how you supposed to talk in the library. When we got into the children's library, she was very loud. And she would dart across, and then she was and I was telling her, I was reminding her, I was talking to her about the library. I was trying to tell to her, make sure she could be aware of everybody else is very quiet in the library and all that other stuff. I didn't realize to the end, because I was busy talking to the lady, Miss Ginger, who's in charge of the children's library, about doing a spelling workshop there. I'm going to be doing a spelling workshop there. So when moms are busy, we find ourselves occupied. A lot of times our kids get away with stuff because they trying to still get our attention, but they like, ooh, let me see what I can get away with because mom is occupied. She's trying to get something done, right? So I didn't realize it until later that I did try to get her to lower her voice or sit down and not hop all around the library. I did that a little too much. So next time we went, I put structure in place. And I said, okay, go in there. We went through the rules already. I said, so you get 3 strikes. The first time, if I have to talk to you about your voice being loud, that means you have 2 more. I said, the 3rd time, we leaving and we're going to go sit in the car for 10 minutes. And then after 10 minutes, you sit quietly, we'll go back in. I said, if we leave and you start crying, you think you're going to be all upset and draw attention to yourself and all this other stuff, I said, we're going to go in the car and we're not coming back. She's like, what? And I told her again, and today when we were leaving, I said, what we doing today? She told me the rules. And then she said, and I had 3 strikes. And then she said after 3 strikes to go in the car. So she explained everything. And it's important for her to say it instead of me, because she's now taking responsibility. So 3 strikes is when we're going, because she's 5 and it's her first time at the library. She's so excited, right? So 3 strikes is where I'm starting her. Eventually, it's going to be 2. Okay? We're not going to keep doing 3. We're going to break it down, right? But today we went in there, and I only said something to her once. She got it together. And it shows how important it is to have that structure, okay? So I only said one time, I just looked at her and I said, strike 1, right? And it was noisy and everything. She knew what I meant, you know what I mean? And then she's like, okay. And she got it together. And we had a beautiful time. We never had to go to the car. So I say all this to say, get your structure together before you go out with your child. So, see, a lot of times today we want to provide these experiences for our kids. We want to show them, you know, and we want them to have a good time. And we feel like we're being good moms because I took my child to the zoo. I took my child to the aquarium, and I got this experience. They were so happy. But that's only part of it, honey. We got to make sure that our kids know what their responsibility is too, okay? Because they're going to look at it like that. You're doing this for me. I don't have to do anything. And it's all about you pleasing me and making sure I have what I want, okay? So put your structure in place before you even take your child. So what you're going to do is, it's important, before we get to that part, get a checklist. Have a checklist and have your child write the checklist. So we want to have our children participate as much as possible, function independently, and always be learning and growing. The more we get our kids to write, the better. So have them write a checklist. And I'm talking about the checklist for getting ready. Okay? So if we're going to the beach, have them write down the checklist, and then you approve it. Okay? And then have them gather their own materials on the checklist and put it in their bag. Okay? And then if you're in charge of the snacks, you tell them that. Here's what you got to do. Have them write on the checklist. They gather the snacks for everybody. Put it in the bag. You want your child to start having responsibility as soon as this thing starts. So have them write down a checklist. Have them gather the materials. Okay? And then do drills. If you have a hard time with your child when it's time to leave the house, do drills. Getting ready in the morning, and we're going to be leaving it at this time. When I say this, when I say, all right, it's time to get dressed, go on in there and get dressed. Let's see how long it takes you. All right? Then after that, we're going to grab the bag. The bag is going to be right here for us to go to the beach. This is our beach bag. Then we're going to head or use the bathroom, right? Then we're going to grab the bag. We're going to get in the car and put on the music. And then I'm going to, do the map, navigation, and then we headed out, right? So drills are very effective if your child has a lot of trouble in the morning getting ready, and they don't want to get ready, and they spinning around, and you find yourself getting them ready. And if you have everything, a checklist of what they need to do, and you say, all right, let's practice. This is what I did with Maya. Maya is so good at getting ready in the morning. So good. She gets her clothes out, and then she dresses herself. She be looking cute, and she always strikes a pose when she come out, right? She has the sneakers. Okay, grab my snack. Make sure I have my water. Make sure my book bag is here. Make sure I grab this. Make sure I grab that. We ready to roll. So do some drills, okay, for leaving the house. And now go over the rules of how you expect your child to conduct themselves when you go, okay? Do you expect when you get there and you're trying to talk to, you're trying to buy the tickets for your child to be talking or wandering around and you got to keep pulling them back while you're trying to do the tickets? Or do you want your child to stand quietly and wait? So acting that out. So we go and it's time to pick tickets. This is the ticket, or have another child role play, right? And then what are you going to be doing? You're going to stand here and you're going to wait so that you can concentrate on that instead of it being all over the place. Do some drills, go over the rules, right? Then have a good time. Now what you want is, like say it's the zoo. So when I go to the zoo with Maya, we read the little, the little information cards they have in front of each animal, right? So now that she's older, what we'll do is have her write down the name of the animal. Then you can make a lesson afterwards, okay? So have a good time, have the rules set in place, the structure, Let them know what they can and can't do from the beginning, right? Right? Have everything straight. Have a good time. Let them enjoy themselves and have them take notes. Have a little notepad. They can have a little one that's attached to, you know, one of these little notebooks like this that has a little hole right here and a little string that goes around their neck and a little pencil. They can pull it out. You know what I'm saying? Write down the name of the animal, right? And then close it. It's around their neck. They moving, right? And then at the end, when they come home, you know, you have your routine for when you go home. This is a lesson. You want to ask them to briefly write and time them. What did you learn? Always have them write it first. And then they will read their writing, and then you can have a nice discussion afterwards. Then they can edit their writing, right? And then it's the opportunity for spelling words. Wherever you go to a museum, there's spelling words in there. You go to the beach, there's spelling words, okay? You go to the zoo, there's spelling words. You go to the library, there's spelling words, right? Liberty Science Center, there's spelling words. Science is an excellent spelling word, right? Right? No matter where you go, there are spelling words. So always have your child writing. Always have your child then taking the words home and editing the spelling, right? You can have some spelling games for that. Stay tuned. My spelling mini course is going to be out very soon. And it's not only going to teach you how to teach your child how to spell any word. Let me tell you, I teach my students as young as 4 and 5 to learn their letter sounds and then start to be able to put words together and spell words. And once I got them, you know, with the letter sounds going, I can teach in my strategies, I can teach them how to see even multi-syllabic words and break them up and spell them. So I'm going to be teaching you how to teach your child how to do that. And then you're going to teach your child how to lead, right? So that they can function independently. And then I'm going to have some games, some of the famous games I've been using with my students for years. My students go crazy for these games right now. I don't care if they're 4 years old all the way up into high school. They get so competitive. And we really get it in, and it makes them think. All right, so we're gonna have some spelling games in there, but no matter where you go, there are spelling words. So let's bring back school trips, and let's take it to the next level. We're just not there to entertain them. We're not there to just buy them whatever they want and give them a good time. We're gonna do that, plus we're going to have them learning when they go on the school trips. We're going to have expectations for them. They're going to be improving their behavior and their focus and their literacy at the same time. And then we're going to have a lesson afterwards where our kids are going to learn, right? And this just popped into my head. You can have a photo album of pictures, right? You can do it digitally if you want to, or old school, right? Of all the trips that they went through to, and then whatever, if they did some writing, if you had them write about it, their report that they wrote and then edited will be there as well, so they can go back and look at the pictures of what they experienced and also read what they wrote. Man, this thing is endless. We could do anything with it. It's just making me excited right now. So let's bring it back for ourselves and customize whatever your child is into, and going on the school trips that's customized for your child, and also introducing them to some new experiences. All right, so the school year is coming up. It's right around the corner. I'm wishing all y'all a wonderful school year. It's gonna be the best school year ever. Okay, let's stay in touch so that we can make sure that our kids do better than last year, even better than last year. So what? They had the pandemic, they had virtual learning, but we coming back, baby, and we coming back stronger and better than ever. We got this. All right, I love y'all so much. I love y'all kids so much. Let's keep going. Let's keep doing this. All right, believe in yourself, believe in your child, honey, and always remember that growth is what? Unlimited. Peace.